the universe begins to look more like a great thought than like a great machine. Mind no longer appears to be an accidental intruder into the realm of matter. With this in mind, have you ever wondered if the universe itself is conscious? A profound question, isn't it? Yet it's one that has been contemplated by philosophers, scientists, and thinkers for centuries. It's the mystery of consciousness, an enigma that sits at the heart of our existence and our understanding of the universe. Our own consciousness, this sense of self-awareness, the ability to experience sensations and emotions, is something we all intimately understand, yet struggle to define. It's like trying to grasp smoke. It's elusive, intangible, yet it's the cornerstone of our reality. And what if this consciousness isn't exclusive to us, or even to life as we know it? What if it extends beyond us, permeating the cosmos? This is the essence of panpsychism, the belief that consciousness, in some form, is a universal phenomenon. Now, if you're thinking this sounds like the musings of ancient philosophers or the stuff of science fiction, you'd be half right. Panpsychism does have its roots in ancient philosophy, dating back even before the days of Socrates. But here's where it gets interesting. This age-old belief is finding resonance in the most unlikely of places: modern physics and cosmology. Some of the brightest minds in these fields are beginning to entertain the notion that consciousness might not be just a product of complex brains like ours. Instead, it might be woven into the very fabric of the universe, a fundamental aspect of reality as essential as space, time, and matter. Of course, this is a bold idea, one that challenges our conventional understanding of consciousness and the universe. It invites questions, skepticism, and debate, which are the lifeblood of scientific and philosophical progress. So, we find ourselves standing at the crossroads of ancient wisdom and modern science, wrestling with the mysteries of consciousness. And it all leads us to ask, so, where did this idea of a conscious universe originate? The roots of panpsychism stretch back to the early days of philosophy, even predating Socrates. These ancient origins are a testament to humanity's long-standing curiosity about the nature of consciousness and its place in the cosmos. The ancient Greeks, renowned for their philosophical prowess, were among the first to explore the notion of panpsychism. Thinkers like Thales of Miletus, one of the 7 sages of Greece, proposed that everything in the universe is imbued with a certain kind of life force or soul, an idea that aligns closely with the principles of panpsychism. Anaximander, a student of Thales, took these ideas a step further. He suggested that the cosmos itself was a living entity, with its own consciousness, a concept that would echo through centuries and find resonance in various cultures and civilizations across the globe. In the East, panpsychism found parallels in the profound philosophies of Buddhism and Hinduism. The notion of the universe as a conscious, interconnected whole is a cornerstone of these ancient ideologies. The Upanishads, a sacred Hindu text, espoused the idea of a universal soul or consciousness known as Brahman that pervades everything. From the indigenous tribes of the Americas to the shamanic cultures of Siberia, similar ideas have been woven into the fabric of their spiritual and philosophical beliefs. The notion that everything in the universe, from the smallest pebble to the largest star, is alive and conscious in some way, is a thread that runs through the tapestry of human thought. Fast forward to the 20th century, and these ancient ideas find new life in the realm of quantum physics. Figures like Max Planck, Werner Heisenberg, and Erwin Schrödinger, pioneers in the field, began to see potential connections between the enigmatic world of quantum mechanics and the mysteries of consciousness. But that, dear listener, is a story for another day. As we delve deeper into the heart of the cosmos, the question remains: could consciousness truly be a fundamental aspect of the universe? Quantum pioneers like Max Planck, Werner Heisenberg, and Erwin Schrödinger began to question the role of consciousness in the universe. Indeed, the advent of quantum physics led to a resurgence in the dialogue around panpsychism. These trailblazers of quantum theory, each in their own way, contemplated the deep-seated interplay between consciousness and the physical universe. Max Planck, often called the father of quantum theory, was one such thinker who dared to tread this path. He believed that matter did not exist without life, and life did not exist without consciousness. In essence, Planck's perspective was that consciousness is fundamental, and matter is derived from it. Following in Planck's footsteps, Werner Heisenberg, another key figure in quantum mechanics, also pondered on the role of consciousness. He proposed that the reality of the physical world is intrinsically linked with the observer. In Heisenberg's view, it is our conscious observation that breathes life into the world of particles and forces. And then we have Erwin Schrödinger, who gave us the famous thought experiment of Schrödinger's cat, which illustrates the strange and paradoxical nature of quantum superpositions. Schrödinger suggested that consciousness might be an indivisible whole, a singular entity, despite appearing fragmented to individual observers. These quantum pioneers, with their revolutionary thoughts, brought a fresh perspective to the ancient concept of panpsychism. They suggested that perhaps, just as quantum particles exist in multiple states until observed, our conscious observations might be what collapses the universe into the reality we know. But this is not to say that these ideas are universally accepted. Quantum mechanics, after all, is notorious for its different interpretations, each with its own philosophical implications. And thus, the debate around consciousness and its place in the universe continues to rage on, with minds as brilliant as these early quantum physicists still trying to decode the mystery. Yet not everyone agrees with this interpretation. Neuroscience, for one, offers a counterpoint to the idea of a conscious universe. The brain, after all, is a complex network of neurons, each firing electrical impulses in response to external stimuli. In this view, consciousness is a byproduct of these interactions, a phenomenon that arises when a certain level of complexity is reached. It's a perspective rooted in materialism or physicalism, the belief that everything in the universe, including consciousness, can be reduced to physical properties and interactions. Yet, this standpoint poses a challenge when integrating consciousness into the cosmic origin story. If consciousness arises from complexity, how did it emerge in the early universe, a time devoid of complex structures? This conundrum makes some scientists skeptical about the claim that consciousness pervades the universe. However, one could argue that the materialist perspective may be too narrow. It's possible that we're missing a vital piece of the puzzle. Perhaps consciousness doesn't emerge from complexity, but is instead a fundamental aspect of the universe, much like time and space. This perspective is known as panpsychism, the belief that consciousness is a universal phenomenon that exists everywhere, even in the smallest particles of matter. This line of thought presents a radical shift from the materialist viewpoint. It suggests that, rather than consciousness being a product of complex interactions, these interactions are instead a manifestation of consciousness. In other words, it's not that consciousness arises from the universe, but rather, the universe arises from consciousness. This debate between materialism and panpsychism is ongoing, with neither side able to conclusively prove their case. Yet, it's a discussion that's reshaping our understanding of consciousness and its place within the cosmos. It's pushing us to rethink our assumptions and to explore new, uncharted territories of thought. This debate leads us to ponder the philosophical implications of considering consciousness as a fundamental aspect of the universe. What if consciousness is not just a byproduct of complex brains, but a fundamental aspect of the universe? A provocative question indeed, one that nudges us to reevaluate our understanding of the cosmos and our position within it. If we entertain the notion that consciousness is fundamental, much like space and time, then we're in the realm of panpsychism. This perspective transcends the conventional materialist view, where consciousness is seen as a mere outcome of physical processes in the brain. Instead, it suggests that consciousness is a basic building block of reality, inherently woven into the fabric of the universe. This shift in perspective has profound implications. It suggests that every particle, every field, every bit of the cosmos, from the tiniest quark to the grandest galaxy, has an element of consciousness. It's a perspective that imbues the universe with a sense of unity, a collective awareness that transcends our individual human experiences. Yet this view is not without controversy. It challenges the boundaries of science and philosophy, questioning the very nature of reality. If the universe is conscious, what does this mean for our understanding of free will, morality, and purpose? How does this alter our perceptions of life, death, and the nature of existence itself? Moreover, it raises questions about the origins of the universe. If consciousness is fundamental, was it present at the inception of the cosmos? Is the universe a conscious entity that willed itself into existence? These are profound, almost unanswerable questions that push us to the limits of our understanding. Yet despite the controversy and the unanswered questions, the idea of a conscious universe is compelling. It proposes a universe that is not cold and indifferent, but alive and aware. A universe where consciousness is not an anomaly, but an integral part of existence. The notion of a conscious universe, as old as philosophy itself, continues to intrigue and challenge us in the 21st century. The journey to understand consciousness, both within us and within the universe, is a journey of exploration that is far from over.